What's going on, everyone? Hopper here with another, well, this is going to be my first review on this. Not a review, but this is a how-to. Today we're going to replace a touchscreen on a Nintendo DS Lite. This is the one that will play either DS games or will play the Game Boy Advance SP games. And we're just going to be replacing the touchscreen itself. As you can see, I don't know if you can, but the bottom one, the touchscreen is just all marred up from heavy use. I do this about once a year for this girl. She loves this little pink DS. So, with that, we will jump downstairs and we'll take a look at how to replace just the bottom touchscreen. Okay, first of all, you're going to need some sort of plastic prying tools. I never like using metal when I'm working around circuitry. Another plastic prying tool. Very small Phillips, which is a double-aught, tri-wing, Y, whichever one you want to call it, and tweezers. Now, most of this stuff you can find on eBay, especially the security, the tri-wing. You're going to definitely need that. And, of course, a new touchscreen. Alright, first we start off, we're going to take out the battery. Then we're going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you can't see that one, there's one right there. That make sure you take that one out. These two will be Phillips and the rest of them will be tri-wing. Oh, 8. And there's one right down here in this corner that has to come out. So there's 8 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and there's the 2 that I'm referring to here are underneath the feet. There's 2 little rubber feet. You take those out, and there's your screws. Those 2 are Phillips as well. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips and 1, 2, 3, 4 tri-wing. Now I'll go ahead and stop this and I'll take out the screws, because I don't think you need to watch me take screws out. You know how to take a screw out. Okay, after you have all the screws out, go ahead and pull out the plug for the SP games. And now we'll get this guy up coming apart. Now you have to watch with your triggers, because your triggers will come up off of there as well. And sometimes it can be kind of a pain. That's where the plastic pry tool comes in handy. You can just kind of skate it along there and to start getting her loosened up. And there's the motherboard. Now, I don't know, you can see it. There's a spring right here for your trigger, and a spring right here for your trigger. What you have to do is put your thumb on that spring and then pull up on your trigger. and then everything will come up out of there like so. This side's a little harder, and so I'll use, and there you have everything. Now see, I set them right off to the side on either side, right where they go, so I don't forget where they go. Okay, now we have one screw here for the motherboard. Take that up off. Set that off to the side. Now what we'll do is we'll unclip the Wi-Fi antenna, which there's one here. Get your little pry tool, get up under it, and then the white one is right here. Same thing, just get under it, and she'll come up off of there. This just gets it out of gets the antenna out of the way, because they're going to be in the way. And I'll show you here in a minute. Now all you do is get underneath your Wi-Fi and just pry up on it a little bit. And there's your Wi-Fi antenna. See, it has a little sticky pad on it. Whoops. Guess I kind of got you out of the way here. Alright. There's a little sticky pad right there that when it goes down onto the port, it sticks to the motherboard. So you got to get that loose, and then she'll come up off. Now, there's a wee little ribbon cable, which is right here. You can see it right there. Now that has a gate valve, a gate clip on it. What you have to do is you get under the back side of it and just pull up gently, and it'll open up. Take your tweezers and pull out the ribbon cable. That ribbon cable is actually this ribbon cable for your touch screen. Now after you're that far, what I do is I just pull up, get the motherboard up off of those back pins, and she'll come right up out of there and flop over. You don't really want to take the LCD, the top screen clip off, because I'll tell you what, those are a bummer to put back on. Now for the screen, all you have is a gate clip. Just flip it up, lift up on your LCD assembly, and she comes off. Now you can set the DS light off to the side, and what you do, or what I do, is I find an area underneath where there's a little bit of room, and start working your pry tool underneath the LCD, the touch screen, and just kind of work your way along very carefully, not to hurt the LCD. might take a little bit of effort, but it'll... Oh, okay. Sorry about that. A little bit of an accident. Now, as you can see, I'm slowly working the LCD up off of there, or the, God, I keep wanting to call it an LCD, it's the touch screen. Usually once you get it started, and there she is. As you can see, the screen's still in good shape. Now what you want to do is make note of where the touchscreen cable goes. Now what I do is, now I'll take off this pink trim. Because we'll need that later. Now we'll take off the protective coating off of the underside. Get it centered. There, now she's ready to go back in. So I'll leave you here for a minute while I get everything all set up, and we'll put her back together. I'll show you a reassembly of it. Okay, now to start reassembling it, take your screen and slide it right back into your gate clip. Make sure that it's all the way in before you close the gate. There's two little tabs on either side here. There's one here and one here. They will go all the way in and touch the white. Then all you have to do is close your gate. Now I'll peel off the protective coating. Maybe. And now make sure that your ribbon cable is going to come through. Slide it over. Get your Wi-Fi cable out of the way. Now we'll make sure that the screen is sitting in where it belongs, which it's not quite. So we're just going to nudge that screen down a little bit where it belongs. And there, she's all the way in. Take a look. Yep. She's right where she belongs. Now, this is the hardest part. Just putting that little ribbon cable back in this gate clip. Make sure your gate's open. Take your little tweezers and get a hold of it. Sometimes if you're not holding your mouth right, it just will not go in there. I'm going to have to do this off camera because I can't see around my camera. Okay, like I said, that's the hardest part. Just getting that one little ribbon cable back in for your touch screen. Put the screw back in the motherboard. Now we'll take our Wi-Fi and we'll get her lined up and push her right back down on there. Connect up our Wi-Fi. That's the black one. And get that white one lined up. Clip it back down on there. Make sure your wires are out of the way. There. Now, what we'll do, make sure that black one is down in there. We'll take our trigger. That one started. Get your little spring, wrap it around and down on. Same with the other side. Put the pin in the hole. Take your little spring, wrap him around. Down on. Now we're ready for the bottom cover again. Now we put the bottom cover back on like that. We put some of the Phillips screws in. One there. Make sure you hit your volume right. Now you can see the power slide button's not lined up. So, what we'll do is we'll just lift this guy up a little bit. And now she's done. Yep, volume's okay. Now we can start putting it back together. I'll put these two Phillips in here and here. Now, what I do before I throw in all the screws is I'll put the battery back in, open her up, get her turned on. Before you begin, you must adjust. Yep. So we see our touch screen's working. A little off, but we'll do an adjustment once we get it all put back together. So what I'll do is I'll turn this off and I'll put all the screws back in. You don't want to watch me put in a bunch of screws. Okay, now with all your screws and it all put back together, now we can put this trim back on. See, if you put it on the screen before you set it in where it belongs, it will not go up in there right. You have a chance of not centering it. Okay, now let's see if we can adjust that touch screen. Okay. Username saved. Okay, we'll get this all set up. You can change all your settings later. Right now we just need to get to the yep. Okay. Okay. See, it's off just a little bit. So we set this up. Calibration can now she's all set. And that's all there is to it. So don't throw them away. Let's fix them together. And with that, if you like what you saw, give me a subscribe and a like, and I will bring you more. I have a lot of stuff coming up as far as for repairs. I'm going to do some easy ones, some ones that are really simple, and some harder ones, changing some lasers and some systems, and maybe just changing a joystick in a system that only takes about 15 minutes. But I'm going to be bringing you a lot of stuff here. So with that, I'm going to hop on out of here, and thanks for watching.